Hey everybody, it is me, Angel Benton. It's the Friday before Easter, and as you can see, I'm at home in Glendale, California right now. I'm going back to Vegas tomorrow. I'm here for one night only, one night only. Um, but I do have the ability now to talk about what I had mentioned a couple days ago. I was like, I wasn't sure if I could mention this or not. But thank you to the lovely people at the National Academy of Television Arts and Sciences. I will be going to the Daytime Emmys this year. I am so excited. I am ecstatic. This is crazy. I'm thrilled, and I'm bringing as a date. I'm bringing my little sister, so she's excited too. I actually got fitted for a tux. Oh my god, it was so funny when I was getting fitted for the tux. They were like, "Do you live on Bluffside Drive?" And I was like, "Oh my God, that was my first apartment in Studio City a while ago." And she was like, "Yeah, because you still got 337 points." And I remembered that I must have gone to buy a suit when I worked at Bath and Body Works. I bought my suit at Men's Warehouse, and that's where I got the tuxedo. And it is a Calvin Klein tuxedo, and it is cute. And I enjoy designer tuxedos. Bill Blass, Tommy Hilfiger, Calvin Klein. They're really cute. So I can't wait. Um, I'm very excited about that. But of course, I'm going away to Washington State for 2 weeks. I come home and go straight to the Emmys. Like I literally get home, pick up my suit from the Men's Warehouse, and then drive out here for the Emmys. Crazy. Anyways, what's funny is that I told my friend Cameron about it, and he was like, "Yeah, we've gone before." I was like, "What?" He remembers us going to the Daytime Emmys one year and seeing Susan Lucci on an escalator. And at one point during, and we were in the back on the balcony, and at some point, a couple of soap opera guys ran through, and the crowd went crazy. I vaguely remember that, but I was like, "Were we dressed in a tuxedo?" And he said no. And I was like, "What venue was it at?" And he's like, "At the Kodak Theater." I don't think that the Daytime Emmys have ever, and I was racking my brain trying to figure out where I had, what I had done, and how many the award shows I've been to. I went to the Primetime Emmys in 1995, and I have stories from that, but those stories will stay with me to my grave because they are crazy. Um, Although it was cool how I got there. So my date and I, we got dressed up and we went in an ambulance. Everyone else was in a limousine, but we were in an ambulance. And when the EMT showed up that drove the ambulance, because you can rent an ambulance. It's true. You don't have to be, in an emergency to take an ambulance, because as long as they didn't have the sirens on or anything, I mean, whatever. So I rented an ambulance, and it was actually a lot cheaper than renting a limousine. And they were like, "Wait a minute, you don't need the medical help?" And we're like, "No, we just want to go to the Primetime Emmys, and we want to go looking different than everyone else." And they were like, "Okay, we're down with that." And so we had a great time. We chilled with them. They were so cool. The EMTs, they were great. And then we went to the Primetime Emmys, and that's where that story will stop. But it was a cool way that we went there. So I was thinking, okay, I've gone to the Primetime Emmys in 1995. I went to the GLAAD Awards one year. I think it was like maybe 2006, maybe around then. And I've been to lots of different soap opera events, and I vaguely remember the whole thing with Susan Lucci, and I vaguely remember the thing with the soap opera guys going in the audience, but I don't remember it being the actual Daytime Emmys. I don't think the Daytime Emmys have ever been in the Kodak Theater in Hollywood. I mean, that just seems like it's a little big of a venue for that award show, one that can't even get television. It's not even it's not even televised anymore. It's not even online anymore after that first year that they did that online. Okay, so check it out. The Daytime Emmys. I know after I get tickets, I'm talking shit about the show, but just one year. So the Daytime Emmys, I love this show, right? And it's been on for many, many years on television, on network television, and they recognize various soap operas. And I enjoy. Anything that encourages the daytime community. I'm all about it. Well, then one year it wasn't on any network at all, but it was on headline news. Oh my god! And you know that was fine. I didn't have a problem with that. If it's going to be on cable, at least it's still on TV. It's on cable. Then the next year it wasn't on TV at all, but it was online. And so I watched it online and I was absolutely fucking mortified. It was the it was the biggest shit show I have ever seen ever. And of course, God bless her, they had Kathy Griffin host, of course, like the worst year ever. It started actually on the red carpet. They had these four girls who were Vine celebrities interviewing soap stars. Now, here's the thing. Either they didn't either they did not prepare the girls for this interview or the girls didn't prepare themselves. Either way, they had no fucking clue who any of these people were. And they had huge stars just walking past them while they're talking with day players. Like Jamie, the kid from Young and the Restless. Do you even remember him? He was a kid that Summer bullied. I mean, like, it was just, it was ridiculous. It was so, and it was funny because Nancy Lee Grahn from General Hospital, she was tweeting, "Did you survive the red carpet of the Daytime Emmys?" It was really funny because a lot of people were kind of pissed off. I would be too. If I worked every day on a soap opera for a year, right? And there aren't that many opportunities for my work to get noticed. And on one of those opportunities, it gets filled by these vapid girls that don't know shit about soaps. I was done. And then but the best part though of that was on that night, Young and the Restless won for best soap, and Jill Farron Phelps, who was the executive producer at the time, got up to accept the award. But she wasn't the executive producer for that whole year. So that was actually Maria Arena Bell. Or was it? Is that who it was? I don't know, but it wasn't her. So she starts talking, and Kathy Griffin comes out and she's like, "Yeah, yeah, we get it. Yeah, you're going to thank your dogs. Thanks, Jesus. Yeah, we get it. Okay, thank you. Goodbye." And she cut them off. I was dying. I was like, "You go, Kathy Griffin. You go." So, anyways, I'm very excited about the show. It's on April 30th. I'm going to try to film as much as I can. The General Hospital convention, they really locked down. You couldn't video anything. Not Snapchat, not Facebook Live, not YouTube, not Vimeo, nothing. You cannot videotape. Now, you could take still photos during the panels, and I did. And you can pay for still photos with soap stars, and I paid for one with Billy Miller. That's my birthday buddy. And that's all I could afford because I'm not made of money. I'm making decent money, but I'm not made of money. Okay, but anyway, so I'm very excited about that show. Okay, so Days of Our Lives. I know I've spent like the first 8.5 minutes talking about the Daytime Emmys, but I'm very excited, and so is my little sister. We're quite thrilled. Okay, so Days of Our Lives. I've got a bone to pick. My first bone to pick is with fucking Julie. And I was looking forward to Julie because I love when the veterans are giving good story. I had a whole thing on this last week how much I would love it if Maggie was given a decent story and all that, right? Julie has the nerve to tell Eli not to date Gabby because she killed his cousin Nick. Okay, and she didn't serve enough time. Okay, let me point something out here. Why was Nick in jail before he met Gabby? He's an ex-con as well. Oh, I know why, because he killed Melanie's father, not biological father, but the father that raised her, Trent. He killed him. So how is that okay? How is it okay for Nick to kill somebody but Gabby can't? That's fucked up. And that's a double standard. And that works my puss. I hate that shit. I hate that shit. So that was bad for Julie. I was like, girl, you did not win any favors with that argument, right? So yeah. And okay, so now the next bone to pick is with Miss Abigail. So they had the big vow renewal ceremony this week, and Abby was saying, I can't go through with it. I know Chad loves Gabby. And I'm thinking, bitch, it's just a renewal ceremony. You're still married, whether you do it or not. If you want a divorce, you need to start thinking about a divorce. But don't say, I don't want to do the vow renewal because he's in love with someone else. I mean, if my husband was in love with someone else, I would kill the bitch. No, I'm just kidding. I wouldn't do that. But I would divorce him. Move on. You can co-parent. You're both logical, reasonable adults. There's no reason why you shouldn't. I'm just glad though that it kept Jennifer out of most of the scenes. Sorry. Um, there was a bunch of hoo-ha with Claire and Theo and having sex, and let me take some pills for this headache I'm going to get from rolling my eyes so far back in my head. Okay. Um, and that was pretty much it. I mean, there was Eli, and then the whole vow renewals. Oh, and Eduardo Hernandez got arrested and framed by Damos, and he went away to jail. And and honestly, he hasn't been on the show long enough for me to care. His kids have been on the show a lot longer, and I care for them, but I really don't care too much about Eduardo. So, when Kate was reading all these notes for all these gifts that he bought her, and she's just crying, and I'm going, that is a little melodramatic, girlfriend. You need to rein it in a little bit, right? Okay, anyways, thank you so much for logging on today. I do appreciate it. Oh, and one more thing. So while there was extenuating circumstances letting Gabby out of jail, and Nick got out of jail early, Peter Demira, who all he did was kidnap Abby and Jen back in the 90s, is still in jail. How the fuck does that happen? Okay, that's all I have to say. Bring Peter back. We want Peter back. Even if you have to recast. Anyways, thank you so much for logging on today. I do appreciate you. And I do appreciate you on the National Academy of Television Arts and Sciences. Thank you so much for the tickets. I am going to have a fucking blast. It is going to be the best. Yeah, so thank you so much. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Angel Benton. You can hashtag Days to Talk Days of Our Lives, or you can hashtag YR to Talk Young and the Restless, and I've got some stuff to talk about that too. So thank you so much, everyone. Have a wonderful evening. Peace out. Wubba, wubba, wubba.